All right, so someone sent us this article from PennLive.com. It's about Bank of America.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it says they're closing certain accounts, and we thought it'd be a good idea to take a deep dive into this and try to figure out exactly why Bank of America is closing these accounts,
Interesting.
and of course, what this means for you.
Right, right, of course.
So the article is titled, Bank of America Will Close These Accounts. Here's why.
Hmm. Straight to the point.
Yeah, no kidding, right.
Yeah.
So the big reason, it seems like, is inactivity. They're targeting accounts that haven't seen any action for a while.
And how long is a while, exactly?
Well, the article says typically 3 years or more.
3 years, that's a long time.
Yeah, it is. And get this, the article says they're going to turn the contents of these accounts over to the proper entities.
Ooh, that sounds a little ominous, doesn't it? The proper entity.
It does, a little bit, but the article actually explains what that means.
Okay, go.
It's all about something called escheatment.
Escheatment. I've never heard of that.
It's not exactly a word you hear every day. Bank of America actually defines it in their FAQ, which the article quotes.
Okay.
They say, escheatment is the process of reporting and remitting abandoned or unclaimed property to the appropriate state agency for custodial safekeeping.
So basically, they're giving the money to the state.
It sounds like it, yeah.
But why? I mean, it's the customer's money, right?
That's a good question, and this is where it gets interesting. The article points out that this isn't just a Bank of America thing. This escheatment process, it's actually rooted in state laws. They specifically talk about Pennsylvania, for example.
Okay.
And it's not just banks either. These laws apply to utilities, medical institutions, all sorts of places.
Really?
Yeah. The article says these entities are required to report and potentially hand over property that's considered lost, forgotten, or inactive for a certain amount of time.
Makes you wonder how much money we're talking about here.
Right. Billions, maybe? It's got to be a ton.
Yeah, probably. But I'm still unclear on why they do this.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point of all these achievement laws?
Well, think about it. What happens if someone dies without any heirs?
Oh,
Or they just forget about an account they opened years ago.
Right. The money needs to go somewhere.
Exactly. And these escheatment laws make sure those assets are at least protected by the state, just in case the rightful owner or their family ever comes looking for it.
That makes sense. It's like a safety net for forgotten money.
Yeah, sort of. And it explains why so many different types of institutions are included. They want to make sure all kinds of unclaimed property are covered.
Okay, so it's not really about Bank of America being proactive or anything.
Right. They're just following the law.
So what can people do to avoid having their accounts cheated?
Well, the article says the best thing to do is simple. Log in and interact with your accounts on a regular basis.
Really? Just logging in is enough?
Seems like it. It shows the bank that the account is still active.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah, it is. So anyone listening, if you have a Bank of America account you haven't used in a while, maybe an old savings account or something, do yourself a favor and log in, check the balance, transfer $1 or $2.
Anything to keep it active.
Exactly. Otherwise, you might just find it's been turned over to the state.
Not good.
Yeah.
So this escheatment thing, it makes you wonder, does this apply to other accounts too?
Yeah, good point. I mean, we've been talking about Bank of America, but these are state laws, right?
Oh.
So it's probably safe to assume they apply to other banks, credit unions, maybe even investment platforms.
It makes you think about all the accounts you might have forgotten about.
Right.
Like, what about those online payment services? I haven't used some of those in years.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's really making me think about the whole idea of abandoned property.
Right.
Like, what else falls under these laws? Uncashed checks, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Or those gift cards that get lost in a drawer somewhere.
Totally. And what about safety deposit boxes?
Yeah, what happens to those if the rent isn't paid?
Wow. It's a whole other world, right?
It really makes you think about how we manage our stuff.
And how we keep track of our financial lives, too. It's a lot to think about.
It is.
Well, that's our deep dive into why Bank of America is closing accounts. We learned about escheatment and how to avoid it.
And hopefully it's got everyone thinking about their own accounts.
Definitely. Now, as you go about your day, consider this. Beyond financial accounts, what other things might be considered abandoned under these state laws? And what does it say about us that we have these laws in the first place? It's a fascinating question, and we'll leave you to ponder that. Until next time.